Today we're going to talk about forefoot engagement. In other words, keeping the heels as keeping the heels basically clear from absorbing impact primarily. So when we absorb impact, we don't want to be primarily landing on the heels. Damn, that even hurt me. Primarily landing on the heels. We want to primarily be landing on the forefoot, midfoot, and then heels as the last resort. And so the reason being is because it benefits our stability, our ability to gain control as we improve with skateboarding, and overall just helps us feel confident on the board. Right? We can always have a false sense of confidence depending on how just how athletic our background is or how active our background is. But regardless, that confidence isn't very useful unless you give yourself time to benefit from continuous practice on the board, right? So real quick, I have this board. Oh, did you set it for members only? No, you didn't. It's okay. So today, this live is only for members. We're only going to be responding to Coquero. No, I know. I'm saying we won't be responding to comments unless it's Coquero or damn. Actually, here I can. Do you see where you can like get a photo on the side on the right? Yeah or no? Okay, here. Let me see. Wait up, guys. Check it out, man. Look, you see the on the side. You can import. It has these options. Okay. What's this? Okay. Okay. Shout out. Oh, this it goes big, huh? What was it? Loyal Tangy. It's Loyal Tangy and Coquero underscore. Does it say? Could you read it? All right. So no green screen anymore. Let's take this off. Took it off, right? Okay. So shout out Loyal Tangy and shout out Loyal Tangy and Coquero. This kickflip is for Loyal Tangy. Could you? Oh, and I was gonna mention actually before we do the kickflip for Loyal Tangy, this massage ball is something that I do when I'm not at the skate park and I really want to decompress, or even just in the morning before I start moving a lot. I release tension and by putting this under the arc of my foot, and I allow the ball to penetrate the tissue, the deep tissue, or the fascia, so that it gives more. It has blood flowing a bit more efficiently on the foot. Therefore, it's easier and it's a bit more intuitive to have me reacting with the forefoot and midfoot as the primary absorbing, um, you know using the forefoot and the midfoot as the primary part of the body to absorb impact. So this kickflip this kickflip is for Loyal Tangy. All right, and then for Coquero switch flip. Okay, so switch flip is gonna be for Coquero. Loyal Tangy, that was a kickflip for you. Shout you out, bro. These two are the first um, in the membership. First two in the membership. Damn, I actually forgot who was the first one. First one of you was 8 days ago. So shout you out. Shout out one of you for being on here for more than a week. And um, I'm taught we're elaborating on this topic because those are that topic is the video that they commented on and they've also showed interest on. There was another one about stabilizing on the board a bit more effectively, and I talked about how we should be centered over the lead foot. And just to kind of piggyback on that topic, when it comes down to improving our stability, it goes back to making sure we're centered over that lead foot, on top of making sure our toes are inside the board. So what I mean by that is, let's say you land the trick, right? If your toes are out of the board, that means you're using your heels as a as a as a resource to absorb impact. So you want to, instead of going for the next trick, like trying to pop shove it or front shove it or kick flip, but building on mechanisms where you can't land on the forefoot effectively, you might want to take some steps back and just cruise around the park with ollies, but with making sure that your toes are inside, like the board, making sure your toes are inside the board, so that you're building better habits. So it doesn't matter if you're doing ollies on the bank, fakie ollies on flat, half cabs. Notice how I'm I'm attempting to keep my forefoot on the board, keep my toes in, instead of this. Ow, that was bad. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure. Oh, I hope so. You want to check? So essentially, if you've been skating for a while, you understand there's something called the heel bruises, and those things are very unfavorable. And so it should go without saying. But if I want to explain a little more on why it isn't as optimal to use as a resource, as a mechanism to absorb impact, it's because simply, if you want to test this out by yourself, if you try to jump off your heels and even absorb impact on your heels, you're going to be limited compared to how high you can jump off your forefoot, and how high you can land, or how much impact you are capable of absorbing through your forefoot and midfoot compared to your heels. So that's a little explanation. And you also, you might find yourself very hesitant to land on your forefoot because you're afraid of the instability that it might expose you to. But this is where it's super important to understand you need to take your time. What's up? Oh, that you need to take your time. This is where it becomes super important that you understand you need to take your time, and instead of trying to go fast but using your heels to slide or stabilize, you go fast or you go slower, and make sure you're on your forefoot when you lock on to slides. So for instance, a very common mistake many skaters do, it's, you can hear it, a very common mistake skaters do is they'll go fast to a no slide, but then they'll land with their heels, with their heels you know stabilizing them. And you want to make sure you're not relying on that. Instead, go slower and just prioritize landing on your forefoot, right? It's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to have you feeling, vulnerable, uncomfortable. It's going to hurt your ego. But this is where you have to be open to like having some humility and just taking a few steps back, getting humbled, and making sure you're landing on your forefoot. Because later on, this makes it so much easier to control a pop, right? Let's say if you want to flip out of it, a flip. Let's say if you want to spin, you have the most potential, not potential, you have the most leverage when you're applying tension through the forefoot as opposed to the heel. The heel, you're going to find yourself way more limited to get that flick, to get that shove it, to get that pop. Very possible, still very possible, but you are just limited compared to what's optimal. And in this case, what's optimal is the forefoot. So very quickly, I want you guys to see how to improve upon this at a very fundamental level, where you're not expected to do ollies downstairs, fakie ollie switch or anything. It's just exposing yourself to different movements while having the intention sorry, exposing yourself to different movements while having the intent my god, exposing yourself Okay, the whole point of this is to expose yourself to different movements with the intention to have your forefoot on the board. So if you do, let's say, like a turn, I'm gonna come back. Let's say you do a turn, but your toes are hanging off like this. Look, again, your toes are hanging off like this. That's where we need to refine that. We need to place the intention to improve, and slowly, little by little, have the toes coming inside until fully you feel comfortable bringing your toe where it's in the middle of the tail, and you feel confident and in control of leveraging your movements with the forefoot on the center of the tail. Okay, now it doesn't mean this is where your board your forefoot should be placed every time, because look, for a tray flip the toes are kind of hanging off, but as we land we want to avoid this. It's little things like this where even though it may feel super good, we want to optimize to land on the forefoot. Now we can take it, so let me do it again. Forefoot, we can take it in an exaggerated manner where we can do tray flips and we land very in the tippy toes where we're vulnerable to hot pockets. That is also not what I'm suggesting. All I'm suggesting is we want our toes to be inside the board. Perfect example. You see how my toes are not hanging off? That was a great example. You see? So forefoot is going to be your primary focus when it comes down to placing an intention to improve our stability. So similarly to that backside kick turn, you can slowly practice just going up and back down. Let's go, making sure you're on the forefoot, like forefoot on the tail. A big mistake I see skaters make is their toes are hanging off and their body is leaned over, opened up here, and on their way back they're closed off. And so that just exposes you to so much limitations that you can quickly get rid of if you just open up to the direction you're going. And also make sure that you're placing that forefoot on the board so that you can assist yourself in opening up. Because even though it's possible for you to open up with your with your toes hanging off, so I'm gonna do it right here on this next one. Even though you can open up with your toes hanging off like this, you're so much more restricted and you feel some restrictions like on the hip and the ankles. Instead, open up the ankles, open up the hips, and it allows you to easily open up the top half of your body. So in other words, I'm gonna try to sound smarter. Open up the ankles, open up the hips, and it's gonna facilitate your efforts to opening up to the direction you're going. So later on when you do, let's say later on when you do a trick on the quarter pipe, that habit is already built in where you're not limited to staying over one side of the foot. I'm gonna do the same trick. You're not limited to doing, to staying over this left side, but you're comfortable starting on the left where you're going. You pop, you land, and you open up naturally or intuitively over the right. So with the tray flip, not saying you're gonna land it. What the fuck? Every time. Whoops, I cursed, huh? Not saying you're gonna land it every time, but when you do, or at least as you're getting those reps in, you already have that basically built into the nervous system where you want to. Wow, I can't. Okay. It definitely is gonna take a little more focus than I thought. Okay. Again, you understand what you're looking for. And so even if you do land where you're open up towards one side, you're like, oh, maybe I can clean that up because it doesn't feel as smooth. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take a little more focus than I thought. All right. Okay. So again, I understand that the tray flip needs to feel more like this, where I'm land, instead of how it felt when I landed this one, which is this, like this. Look, I landed like this. I don't want to be on the same. I don't want to be open up to the same side I started. I want to transfer that way so that when I go down, it's a bit more smoother. Not the best one. Here's a better one. Okay. Again, it's not about being perfect, but understanding that there's always room for that improvement. And you're not content with lands where you land any of your tricks where your toes with your toes hanging off like this. So right now what I'm looking for is to land with my toes inside. Right here. There we go. So that's not the best, but again, improvement. And that's what we're looking for. Let's see one more. Okay, so one more. That face. No, unless it's Loquero or Lucky Tangy. Or is it Lucky Tangy? Tangy. Lucky Tangy. There we go. I think it's Tangy. Okay, but yeah, we meant to do this as only a members only thing. So we're sticking to that. Members, shout out Lucky Tangy again, and huh? Members only comment, yeah. But I've it blanked. But Loquero, there we go. Loquero. Is it Loquero underscore? Yeah, it's Loquero underscore and Lucky Tangy. Shout you guys out. Member only comments. So if you want to be a part of these um, lives where we're only responding to the members' comments or feedback, make sure to check that out. We're still going to be on live for everyone, but because I haven't been on live, we're just pretty much making sure I attend or I keep to my promises, and we're doing a live for the members. I feel like I just said the same thing in a whole paragraph when I could have said it in a sentence. Let's go over here. Did he bring more water? Yeah, huh? I need to stay hydrated. You brought a gallon? Okay. I need to get some water. Or maybe, did anyone ask a question about like a video or something? Did he ask a question about the topic? What if what? Say it again. Come down too much too soon. Come down too much too soon. I'm not sure I understand that. Backside flip? Like a rocket backside flip? Have a good one, bro. Peace out, Lil G. Well, here's the thing with when someone's skating, when someone's doing rocket flips, you're not applying the necessary tension on that forefoot. Because look, if I keep very little tension on my left side, which is the lead foot, my board's gonna want to rock it. But if you're good. What was that? Oh, you're good, bro. You're good. You're good. Oh no, I'm sorry, bro. Don't. Yeah. But if you apply more tension, whereas like if you're going down and you can feel that recruitment of the muscles to go down, you're gonna have that very reactive pop because this is giving, like, it's storing the energy so that when you snap, you're not just lifting up, but it also wants to snap even more effectively, because in a sense you're kind of applying that tension. So again, if you don't apply any tension on this lead foot, you might be centering yourself over the middle or the back foot, that's why your flips might be going rocket. So think about centering yourself over this lead foot as you go down and even as you pop up. So from some rolling to to set up, from and then throughout the trick to the land. Oh my god, that was bad. I fatigued right there. Is what you want to keep in mind. So that's a great question. So even if it's, he's saying backside flip, it's happening in a backside flip. So if it's happening in a backside flip, chances are you're on that back foot the whole time. Because I actually did that a lot when I started doing backside flips, and I got away with landing them. But because I wasn't able to pop them because there was no tension on that lead foot, I would just resort to, having a slow flick, no pop, and kind of got away with pressuring it. But if you really want to get a solid one, you got to have that pressure over that lead foot. And that's going to help you, you know, make sure they don't rock it. So if you're having such a hard time applying that tension with a backside flip, just go back to practicing kickflips, go back to the ollie, go back to rolling around, cruising around, building that flow. Like you don't need to go from a kickflip when you barely learned it to a backside flip because you've already landed that kickflip. You can always improve, and until your kickflips look like this, and your backside flips are leveled out as well, very comfortably, you can then give it a little more time. So you, in a way, you can think about earning your time to practice a backside flip a little more, because chances are if it's taking you weeks, months, maybe even years to land a trick, it's because you're trying to skip some steps, or there's there is an opportunity for you that you aren't taking to revisit other tricks. And in this case, if you're trying to backside flip, the tricks you're choosing to ignore, that to revisit, are backside 180, kick flip, ollies, cruising around the park, building that flow, making sure you have that ability to apply tension in a effective manner. So yeah, any other questions about physics? I mean, I won't be able to explain it in a physical, like with that background, but I know um, from 15 plus years of experience that when I don't apply that tension through this forefoot, when I go down into it, then there isn't going to be anything. Um, there isn't going to be any like energy that wants to be released. So think about like when you shake a Coke, and then all that like carbonation is activating, and then you pop it. You open up the cap, it wants to pop. That's kind of what you want to do when you're going for a trick. You want to go down. Think of going down and applying tension as you shaking a Coke can or a Coke bottle. And then when you're ready to pop, because you applied tension or pressure uh, effectively, you're going to be able to maximize that pop. Um, I think that was good, like something good that everyone can reference. You know, did you understand that? No, it's not physics. I'm just saying like that's. I'm not saying that's physics. I'm just saying that's kind of what what's happening. I definitely can't explain it with a physical background. Uh, huh? Physics background, yeah. But biomechanically, I mean everything connects, right? Like we study these studies are like, you can think about them as different perspectives that explain one like the same thing pretty much. Regardless, it's a kickflip. The output is a kickflip. How it happened, everyone has a different perspective on it. But regardless, whether you call it tension, whether you call it pressure or weight or center of weight or whatever, you're still, you know, trying to explain the same thing. You know, it's just a different look on it. Uh, yeah, maybe it's possible that, you know, when you go for the backside flip, because you need to flick, you're changing the way you're applying pressure, because you probably think that if you apply pressure before you flick, that it's gonna wrap around your foot. But really, what that does is allow your flick to be solid, because you apply pressure and you don't have to force the flick, but instead just kind of like let it roll off the nose. So apply pressure. That was a good one. Huh? That's something that happened with me when I was first learning backside flip off stuff. Is I didn't apply that tension, so I would kind of just like be on the what are you doing on the center. I was on the center of the board or the back of the board, where I was pretty much just like rolling my board off instead of actually getting a good snap. So you want to make sure you're prioritizing getting that good snap instead of just being okay with rolling it off. And I'd actually would really love to see how your kickflip, ollies, and back 180s are, um, and see how you can combine those into the backside flip. Because chances are, if you do have them solid with speed and all that, then you have all the tools necessary. It's just about bringing them together. And so, another Lil Tangy. Oh wait, Lil? No, Loyal Tangy. There we go. Loyal Tangy. What's up? Oh, okay. Did you comment anything? What's up, dude? We're on live for you. I did a kickflip earlier and I ate it. Dedicated to you. Um, so this was supposed to be a members only live, but we forgot to press that button. But we're prioritizing your comments, my bro. So comment earlier on this live if you want to check back. You know, once we post it, I was elaborating on forefoot, stabilizing over that lead foot, and making sure you're building the habits so that when you progress to more technical tricks and you have the confidence to do so, you're already set up where you're intuitively applying these concepts like centering yourself over the lead foot, making sure you're prioritizing landing with your forefoot. You know, making sure that's the primary part of your foot you're using to absorb impact instead of relying on the heels. So, you know, we're gonna be skating around, but you let me know if they comment anything. Sick. What you do at the skate park? Where 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 are you from? Loyatangi? What city? Just say the comment though. Oh, Profe, send your videos at profe.carlos, Profe .carlos on Instagram. You might need to send a video. I mean, like a text, and then I have to accept it so that we can respond. Okay, I'm gonna do a kickflip and then switch flip on the way back. Ready? A little back. Okay. And switch flip. Centering myself over that right side. Oh, okay. So there we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Where you're not. I wasn't applying the tension on that right foot when I went for the switch flip. So you can see that it rocketed right there. Did you notice that? Huh? Yeah. Okay. So watch the difference right here. Oh no. Okay. So I'm feeling like I'm not really opening up. What's up? Well, yeah. How did it go? I was saying I did ask that. Yeah. How was the session and where are you checking in from? Like what? Well, I did ask him. What do you mean? Yeah. Okay. Right here. Oh my God. Okay. So I applied tension. I applied tension when I was popping it, but as soon as I popped, I like disengaged and I lost that engagement over the right side. So I need to keep it over the right side right here. You'll see the difference. Okay. So at this point, what would be best if you find yourself in this situation where you can't snap your tricks? You want to go back to a simple ollie in that stance, right? So that you make sure you have a better understanding of how you need to place your weight, center your weight, right? So if you can do that comfortably, you understand all you're missing is that application with the kickflip. It's not it's not as easy, but you understand where you need to improve. Okay, so I'm rushing myself. What's up, Loyal Tenji? North Ventura? Oh, oh, sick. Nice. Dope. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the star. I wait. Who sent this? Oh no. What's the star? Who sent the star? Crazy what? Crazy about that. Thanks for the star. But yes, Loyal Tenji. Are you? You said you're hyped on the progress. Why? Like what is something where you're like, damn, that felt good. Like you felt like it made sense. What where did you feel you unlocked something or where where's the progress, I guess. Okay. Switch. Speaking of switch. Oh, okay, so that one snapped actually so much better. I just completely am not uh not engaging throughout the whole trick. I'm like going for the snap, but I think because I'm lacking the confidence due to those rocket flip attempts, I'm scared to follow through. And so here we're actually gonna follow through it all and see how those inputs, um, you know, result or what output results of the inputs. Okay, so that was much better. I'm gonna do it one more time. That was much better. I'm not gonna speak until I land. All right, we're gonna engage over the right side a little more. Okay, again, I need to do it one more time. Something that really helped me get better at switch flip was not flipping at all, just doing ollies, because I understood how to apply tension over this right side a little more effectively, so that I understand if I'm having a hard time on the switch flips, it has nothing to do with the flick, and it has everything to do with, at least not as much to do with the flick, but it has more to do with how I'm transferring the weight. Oh my god, that was horrible. Okay, so I think that's enough switch flips, but the whole point is you got to take some steps back, and sometimes the issue isn't that you can't backside flip, it's that you can't hold that tension effectively when you're trying that trick. So for the backside flip, you're not holding it over that lead foot and transferring it over. to the opposite foot when you you actually you actually go for it, because you don't have that confidence. And so you can think about what are some movements, what are some tricks, some obstacles that you're going to expose yourself to that are going to help you, build on top of that confidence. um yeah, anything from Loyal Tangi? Yeah, but just the comments. Fakie front 180. Gurn say, take them off, take them off. Sorry, Gurn say. Gurn say? Sorry, Gurn say, we're going to take off the mod. But I appreciate you, bro. Just know that it's nothing personal. We just want to stay professional and keep it on the topics. Um, for the fakie, huh? What's up? For the fakie, he said fakie backside heels or fakie frontside heels. He said for the fakie backside heels or fakie frontside heels. Okay, so you said the board grips. Okay, so I think you're talking about when you're going fakie, the front foot. The way I would describe a front foot is the one on the one popping the trick. So if you're going fakie, um, that switches. But I'm assuming you're talking about the one flicking. So if it grips it hard, that means you're not you don't understand how to apply the tension. So chances are you want to think about how to improve um, centering your weight over the lead foot on the popping foot. So okay, let's say this is fakie, Brian. Check it out. This is fakie, right? I want to make sure that I'm not over here when I'm gonna go for the trick, but instead I'm over the popping foot. Okay, I can go into that in another video, but the concept that I'm referring to when I touch on this is centering yourself over the lead foot. Yeah, Loyal Tangi, what's up? Nice switch kick, dope. Nice, that's cool. So you're Loyal Tangi is saying that he feels he's paying attention to where his foot placement is when he's going regular and switch kick turns, and also doing ollies on the quarter pipes or like on ramps. Yeah, ollies, just ollies. Okay, fakie ollies and 180 ollies. Sick. So now the next, if I can offer something you might want to think about, uh, banks on banks. Okay, so not ramps or banks. What are you talking about? Okay, well then, okay, banks. So something you might want to think about is as you feel, as you build that control, that comfort, and that confidence by doing this and focusing your attention on the foot placement, slowly take your gaze to where you're going instead of just over your board. So that's going to happen as you gain this control, and only you're going to know when that is, right? So it's not like I can say in a week from now you should be ready to look up, because I don't know how many sessions you're going to have from now until then. But just something to keep in mind is you can think about graduating from looking at where you're looking at your board, making sure your feet are on the grip, to having your gaze up there. A common, I guess, a common problem many skaters run into is as they look up, they start to lean forward because they're not engaged. And so as you make your gaze or turn your gaze from your board to the direction you're going, you want to make sure you're engaged still, so that when you turn and you do your tricks, you're closer to your board, and it's not as easy to it's not as easy to just kind of tip off, lean forward, or slip back of your board. So as you're doing your 180s, your fakie ollies on banks, just make sure you're keeping in mind that you got to go straight up, and but not extending all the way, right? Because then that loses stability. You want to make sure you're engaged, jumping up, and slowly getting comfortable, increasing the incline or increasing the speed. But that's super great to hear. Super sick. I think that's like one of the funnest things to do, tricks on bank, because you really understand where your weight needs to be. Um, yeah. How much time do we got? Cool. So we're gonna do 20 more minutes. Hmm? A video? Just say the comment. All right. Well, here's the thing. I don't know what's up on what. Oh, I do. I think I have a video on YouTube channel how to do shove its. You might want to check that out. But the thing is, something you want to keep in mind is if you don't feel comfortable on your board, just pushing, riding, and doing little ollies, it's going to be super difficult getting this front foot to get out of the way. Because when you do the shove it, you can see how this foot comes up. You need to get super comfortable bringing this foot up to your chest so that it gets out of the way as this foot pops. So the last thing you want to do is keep your foot extended and push the board away from you. You want to have that ability to bring the foot up towards your chest so it gets out of the way and the board can spin. Now the board spins easier if you put your foot on the toe side. See? Spins. If you put it on the heel, you might have to kick back a bit more to get it to turn. But I like to generally have it a bit further, a bit more towards the toe side, so that automatically it wants to do the shove it. And so another thing, make sure as you go down, you're applying tension, and then all you need to do is bring that foot out, bring that foot up. Okay, so don't think about bringing it back, because then that messes up how you're applying tension. Don't think about bringing it forward, trying to catch it smoothly or anything. All you got to worry about is getting comfortable lifting this lead foot up after you had applied that tension and you're centered over. Okay, so again, there's no rush to do shove-its. You can work on ollies, you can work on rolling on your board. Don't feel rushed. But if you've already feel super comfortable with ollies and can do them in a line when you try to flow around the skate park, then yes, by all means go for shove-its, but don't spend so much time if you don't already understand how to apply tension over that lead foot. But if you're interested, again, you can send in some personalized feedback. You can send that video, a shove it video, to profe.carlos on Instagram, and we'll talk more about that. Or I'll just give you basically some insight with a bit more context, because I don't see your shove it. Someone says, "Oh, I'm close to a shove it," and you might only be doing this, right? That's not close. Close is when you do the shove it and then you get off or something. That's when you're close. Okay, so if you're doing this, where you push your board out of the way and you're landing on your heels like this, there's something going on there, and what's going on is you're not lifting this foot up, right? And just because I'm popping it doesn't mean lifting that foot up is necessarily having pop. It's just same thing applies when you just do the shove it. Lift it up. Okay. Loyal Tangi, what's up? This live is yours. 3 times a week. Wow, that's dope. Sick. So you only skated pools before, 2 to 3 hours, 3 times a week, dude. You're doing great. There's no need to increase that like that amount of time unless you feel like you want to, right? Progression. Many times we want to speed up progression by just doing more reps, but if those reps are happening under a fatigue state or a compromised state where you're prone, like you're increasing the risk of injury by just being super sore or not having having the necessary recovery time, you're setting yourself up for failure. So yes, definitely looking forward to the to hearing that where you can skate more often. But dude, 2 to 3 hours, 3 times a week is solid. And that's super solid. Um, Again, only you'll be able to feel if you have that conditioning, which is it sounds like you already know. You need to build up to that. So that's a big one. That's something everyone can take out of take into their own like skate approach. Yeah, drink some more water. What happened? Oh yeah, yeah, 57. Yes, dude, and that's why I I I remember the comment that you mentioned, but I wasn't too sure if that was you. But yeah, exactly. I mean, 57. Man, you're killing it. But yeah, it's you definitely can do every day. Like you're so much more capable than we think. There's skaters who are 20 years old and they think they're too old to skate every day. And it's you got to be careful not to set limitations that that don't that are based on age and also based on no, I would say that are based on the common sentiment, because they wouldn't know by experience because they never set them. They're not giving themselves the opportunity to actually see if it's possible to skate as they age. They just assume because everyone else says that or has kind of given them the story that that's the way to go. But as someone who has been skating for 15 years fairly consistently, there's been years up until now that I feel super horrible where I can only skate once a week good or once a month solidly. And then there's been years recently where I skate every day and I have a okay session. So it really comes down to one, conditioning yourself, but two, having that mindset where you are giving yourself the chance to actually get to that conditioning. Because if you don't ever tell yourself that story that you're capable of getting there, you're not even opening the door, I guess, so to speak. So 57 is crazy in a good way. That's super sick. You missed it or what? Huh? Oh, all right. Well, the shoes right here that someone asked were are Splay shoes. You can check out Splay Skate on Instagram. Okay. Oh, sick. How old am I? I'm 28. I'm gonna be 29 in 2 months. Yeah, in 2 months. Wow. Yeah. Um. Again, memberships. Shout out Lucky Tangi. Yeah, Lucky Tangi and Loquero. Is it Loquero? I'm already switching it up. I think Loquero and Lucky Tangi. First two members. Uh, and I'm looking forward to doing so much more lives. Um, Lucky Tanji, what's a video that you would want to see? I guess I think I already asked this on the comments. Huh? Loquero. Lucky Tanji. Oh, that's I asked you. Is it no? Okay. Loyal Tanji. There we go. Sorry, bro. Loyal Tanji. What's something you'd want elaborated on? No way. Who? No way. Really? Peace out, bro. You too. Um. No way. That's super sick. When? How did you? When did you start wearing them? Or how? How did you come across them? That's super cool. Oh, it's yeah, yeah. Damn, that's sick. Yeah, these shoes, they feel very different, but they're so worth it. Are we the last ones in the park? We're taking park takeover, bros. Lights are on. What a privilege. I have no idea. Wow. Yeah. So I'm thinking we can do lives dedicated to, a question that the members might have. Nice. There we go. Yeah, because there's no heel raise. All right. So you were searching for a good shoe. You came across them somehow. No ankle rolls. Yes, because you're flat on the ground. You definitely can feel a lot more and it feels off, but I mean, your foot just builds so much more strength because you're moving everywhere. Your blood flows throughout the whole foot and it's not covered in so much padding. So, I mean, people are sleeping on it, but not you, loyal Tanji. Okay. So I should just cruise around, huh? And then come out and come back, see a question. All right, ask another question. Loyal Tanji, this is your live, honestly. This is dedicated to the members. So you could stay here. I think you could just zoom in and since let me know, guys, if you can hear me through the glasses as I roll around. Oh, horrible. Okay. Calculating. I love this low bank. Half cab board. Fakie. Switch roll. Switch roll. All right, can you guys hear that as I cruise around the park? Oh, sick. So they could. Oh, my bad, my bad. Okay, you could just hear my voice. Damn, that's super good then, huh? The mic. Oh, interesting. That's so sick. But I guess it would be better if they can hear the board, huh? I think ASMR would be better. Skateboarding ASMR. What happened? What happened? Yeah, right? Like, sick. Dude, I'm just going to be rocking these glasses now. How much time do we got on here? 54? All right, 6 more minutes. Let's do the straight eight. What do you think, Brian? Something better than Walmart board? Just go to your local skate shop. That's like my best advice. Um, yeah. Go to Borders, um, Zoomies, any of those. But if you really want to be a real one, support your local skate shop. Or there's a lot of online skate shops. Inner City, you can check out Inner City. Is it innercity.la? Yeah, innercity.la. They're a skate shop I ride for here in Lincoln Heights, but they ship everywhere. They have an online store. Oh, you guys can screenshot this QR code for a discount code. Let me know if you guys need the screenshot or need it again. Yeah, she keep it hold it. Huh? Check it out. Who is that? That's Victor, huh? Victor. Shout out Victor Brooks. Is that a tray flip? Damn, what is that trick? That's crazy form. All right, the straight eight. You can stay there, I think, right? All right. You could. Are you zooming in? All right, so let me do straight eight. Let's see. Common honey tries. You think? Oh my God, that was bad. Okay, we're gonna give ourselves more breath and just go one trick. Oh my God. Yeah. So I'm fatiguing, guys. By the way, this is like the third session of the day for me. Oh yeah, I'm for sure ready to go to bed. But I definitely have one more in me. Okay, I just need to be super patient, give myself breath, and be a bit more intentional about the everything. Can't be lazy. Oh my God, that was bad, huh? No, no, it was because I got my shoulder, or like I caught myself like this, like it bounced off my shoulder. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. You see, I'm definitely okay. This is why I need to be. Now I need to go slower. Who am I thinking? Okay, that's one. The straight is is all the flips in a row. So that's switch flip, kick flip. Now we're gonna do fakie flip and ollie flip. Again, opening up to the direction we're going. Opening up. Forefoot up, forefoot on the board. Ollie flip. Centering over the lead foot is my left. Oh, toes hanging off. Not good. But we'll take it for now. Okay, we did all flips. Now we gotta do switch heel. Oh, that was bad. I straight closed myself off to the direction I'm going. Needs to look more like a regular heel flip. Tension. Damn. Tension applied over that left forefoot was horrible. Okay, I did heel flip, switch heel. Let's see if I can do fakie heel. Okay, centering over my. No! I definitely got one in me. I'm going to. No, there's two more. I'm going to start with the two hardest ones, which is nollie heel and fakie, fakie heel. Man, that one sucked. Okay, turn it. You can you can see my fatigue manifesting in real time. Any comments? Hmm? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're definitely privileged. This park is definitely nice. Definitely privileged. Oh, so on that one, I landed over the back foot a bit more. I wasn't centered over the lead one. It's right there. Switch. Oh my God, the tension applied on the right side was not good. But honestly, we're taking even the worst ones. So, nollie flip. Yeah, this just not happening. Can I fake flip? So, you see, at this point, there's no point in just practicing these tricks because I am clearly tired, fatigued. So, if I wasn't filming, I would just be, oh my God, cruising around the park because I'm not able to practice or iterate on anything that I know how to do because I'm simply in a fatigue state. So I'm gonna give it one more go because again, we don't want to force things. We want to be fluid, and I'm trying to practice what I preach. So we'll give it one more go. So here we go. Slow down. Yeah, that kick felt good, or better at least. Slow down. Take a breather. Shake off the tension. Yeah, definitely overthinking everything. There we go. You can see I even engage a bit better. Okay. That was better, but not the best. Okay. 3 out of 8. Again, deep breath. Looking at where I'm going. Okay, looking at where I'm going. Centering myself over to the right, which is the lead foot. Okay, heel flip. Tension over the left. Okay, how we're done. You could tell. Not only can I feel it, but I'm sure you can see it through the screen. So we're gonna call it. So if let's say it was 7 o'clock and I still wanted to skate, I would be cruising around. I wouldn't be trying to flip because clearly it's not working for at the moment in the present day. How much time we got? Loyal Tenji, say anything else? Loyal Tenji, appreciate you. Hype that you're on the membership. Looking forward to um, building on top of that, on top of this live, and I'm very open to customizing it so it can serve you best. So 57 and still rolling. Whenever anyone tells me that they're too old to skate, I'm gonna say, Loyal Tenji, 57, and learning and skating switch at 57. So don't give me that excuse. Just kidding. I won't say that. But I know that they would be someone who is inspired by you. That's pretty gnarly. 57 and skating, like, and learning or feeling more comfortable on your board. It's pretty sick. Makes me just hyped. I'm just hyped. Energy. Hopeful. Not hopeful. I honestly always thought like I would be able to skate for a long time. But and this was even before. Um, no, even that. Like, cause I never subscribed to the idea that like I mean, obviously, I don't think I'd be able to skate the rails or the stairs at that age, but I think I'd still be able to learn, you know, even just how to go into a quarter pipe a bit more smoothly. And you know, 58 in November. November what? That's super sick. November what? Loyal Tangi. I need to keep track of that. I'm gonna keep track of that. If you don't want to let us know, maybe in the comments in somehow. Um, yeah. All right, my friends. So this is the live. This was dedicated to the members who just joined, which is Loyal Tangi and Loquero underscore. He didn't you Loquero wasn't with us today, but I'm sure he's gonna be on the next lives. Members only live. Um, November 17th. Screenshot. All right. Damn, they all got off. Okay. So peace out, guys. We'll see you. Peace out, my friends. Rail slide, sick. Nice. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, and I believe it. Looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully, hey, I'm sure we can catch a session when I go to Ventura. You said North Ventura, Capri, Capistrano, San Juan Capistrano. I think is where he skates. Yeah, San Juan Capistrano. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night or day or morning, wherever you're at.